And welcome, everyone. We are live at Jets Pizza in Allendale. So happy to have you along with us. Jeremy Bolker alongside DJ Foster and head coach Ric Wesley. An exciting show ahead for you for the next 60 minutes. Going to be talking some Laker hoops as Grand Valley improves to 4-3 overall. But what is most important is they got a couple of big GLIAC games coming your way at home this week on Thursday and Saturday. So we're going to be talking about those games. And DJ, it's going to be exciting to see how Grand Valley fares against some of the other GLIAC opponents. And as well, we got another other excitement going on here on the program today.
Yeah, senior guard Luke Reiskamp will join us. And Luke had a pretty memorable weekend. We'll talk about that when he comes on later in the show. We'll talk 3 games to cover from last week, a win over Grace Bible and then the tournament down in Indiana. So we'll talk about all that coming up. And like you said, we'll preview the upcoming GLIAC games against Findlay and Ohio Dominicans. We start off the season at home, or start off the GLIAC season at home this weekend. Yeah,
a lot of good news happening on the Laker basketball front here. So, and as well, it was a holiday weekend, so we're going to catch up with Coach Wesley right after this break. It all starts right after this. We are live at Jets in Allendale. Come on out and see us. This is the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider with Ric Wesley, all presented by Rivertown Honda here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
We were born here. We grew up here. Raised our kids here. Went to school here. We live here. We are the home team.
And welcome back inside GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. We're here at Jets Pizza in Allendale. DJ Foster, Jeremy Bolker, and head coach Ric Wesley as we look forward to – what are you laughing at, Jeremy? You okay? We're back live at Jets. I thought you'd be excited. I didn't think you'd be –
we're working on the applause sign or something, clapping underneath the table because I know we're on video right here,
a clap-o-meter.
So yeah, you just totally called me out on it, but yeah, hey, that's okay too.
Well, we're back here. It's good to be back here at Jets Pizza in Allendale. Come on out. Pizza specials, if you come out, the Ric Wesley special. And we're joined by head coach Ric Wesley. Did you have the special today, Coach?
No, I don't think I did. I don't really know if it was or not. I had the bacon, chicken bacon, buffalo chicken, I guess it's called. And, man, it was good. I don't know, a lot of calories in it, I think, but it was good.
It was all good. Hey, hey, there's nothing not special here at Jets Pizza. We want to remind you about that Ric Wesley special from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Best deal out there in West Michigan. Large one-topping pizza for $6. You dine in special. And, I mean, that's a Jets, regular pizza. I don't know, they're usually $10.99 or something like that. Still a great value no matter what, but $6 during the show. Great way to come out and and enjoy some beverages with us as well.
You're probably ready for something other than turkey and stuffing, and because the Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
Coach, talk about your weekend. Talk about the Thanksgiving weekend. What your schedule kind of entailed with did you guys get some turkey on Thursday?
Well, we had a busy week. Most of the guys we could go this past Sunday. Kind of had their Thanksgiving on that day, and then we had a game on Monday. My wife and I had the whole team over our house on Wednesday, and since they had Thanksgiving on Sunday, we actually had enchiladas, so that was a little bit different.
There you go.
But that was good, and then Thursday we practiced, and then we got on the road and drove down to Indiana, and actually stopped at on the way down there and had another meal on the way down there, kind of a Thanksgiving meal. So it was a pretty busy week with 3 games and the holidays right in the middle of it. So we kept our guys pretty busy.
And I think we joked that that meal was not Chinese food, right? Like from A Christmas Story or something like that. It was.
No, enchiladas.
Okay, right.
No one likes duck head.
Right. No, but no. Well, that's great. It sounded like too that's one of those things, Coach. So many of the kids probably used to having family get-togethers and that. This really is a team-building type of thing when you guys can get together like that on some of these special holidays.
Yeah, basketball is tough that way in college because we hit all the holidays. We're here for Thanksgiving quite often. We're practicing and playing on the day after, so you don't really get a chance to get away. And then the Christmas holidays, we do get a week off, but we're back here usually on the 26th or 27th, and the campus is a little lonely during that time of the year. So, and then your reward, if you have a really good season and you get a chance to go to postseason play in March, quite often it's during spring break week. So, it's really difficult for college basketball guys because you don't, a lot of the normal students, I think, really live for those breaks, and we quite often kind of blow right through those. But, it is what it is, and that's one of the things they signed up for, to be able to play games, and quite often they're around those holidays.
Coach, we weren't here last week, as we mentioned. We're finally back here at Jets Pizza because you guys were playing Grace Bible last week. Let's touch base on that one before we get into the tournament down in Rensselaer, the St. Joe's Thanksgiving Classic. You took on Grace Bible last Monday. You won 88-55. A couple big performances. You got shot the ball really well from outside. 14 three-pointers, 50% from three-point range. It's a pretty good percentage overall. Luke led the way. He had 22 points. Trevin Alexander, I said on the radio he was nearing a triple-double, even though he didn't have a double-double, but he was close, kind of in a bunch of categories. 16 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. So your seniors really kind of led the way in that one, and it was a good final kind of test before you got back into the regional play this weekend. Yeah,
I thought the games that we had at home and Grace game included in that group really helped our older guys, Luke and Trevin, kind of settle down. I thought they were really pressing early in the year. Our first tournament down in St. Louis, they were just trying to do too much, and I think getting back home, just kind of taking a deep breath and just letting things come to them better. They both played much better. And then, I think Juwan Stark's kind of in that same category. He's our other seniors, and he as well seems to have kind of found his way here as of late. So, and certainly in the Grace game, Luke was really shooting the ball better, and Trevin was being active and just impacting the game in many different ways.
Yeah, like I said, the 14 for 28 from three-point range, one of the best outside shooting performances we've seen in quite a while. And
we actually cooled off. I thought we really had it going, and then the last 10 minutes of the game, I didn't think we finished the game real well.
Sure.
We should have had, probably 18 to 20. I don't know what our record was, but I was kind of thinking, man, we should get some more of these here and build our confidence. And like I said, we kind of limped to the finish line in that game a little bit.
Well, and you had 7 guys hit 3, so it wasn't just like, Luke or Zach West or somebody, one person hit, half a dozen or something. It was 7 different guys, so you kind of spread the ball around and got some good ball movement.
Yeah, and that's important. That really makes our team that much more effective when it's coming at you from a lot of different directions. Luke generally always will hit some, and Juwan certainly been a good shooter, but Zach West, when he's stepping up and knocking them down. Trevin now has really become a consistent long-range threat for us. But then when, Miles adds 1 or 2 in there, and Danzel and Lance Dollison, we've got several guys that are capable, and it really keeps the defense on their toes. And I know from being on the other end of that, when guys are making shots and they're coming at you from different guys, it really just gets your head spinning.
Sure.
Well, you had mentioned one name right there, and DJ, you especially liked his performance the last couple of games too, but number 1 on the roster, Danzel Wright, coming in. I mean, he comes in with 10 points for 15 minutes of play. So it was some nice play out of him too.
Yeah, he played well in this game. He came in there and kind of fit in with the offense and found his rhythm and knocked a couple shots in, and he's certainly capable of that. He's a new guy. I think he's still trying to find his role, trying to fit in. We're continuing to try to push him to just develop his game further. Against the better teams, they're not going to let you always have your option number 1, and you got to be able to impact the game in other ways as well. But he certainly is a capable shooter, and given the opportunity, he can knock them in.
We'll talk about Trevin, obviously, throughout this show, but this game and against Upper Iowa as well, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 2 block shots. If you had him on your fantasy team, you had to be really happy because he'd filled out all the stat columns, hit a couple of three-pointers, and that was all in just 25 minutes. He can put up those numbers against pretty much any team.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job, and he's worked hard to get to this point. We've certainly put him in a position to have more responsibility, and he's responded. Like I say, he's a good shooter. He really, sticks his nose into the pile and comes out with those rebounds in a crowd. He's got great hands. He's a willing and good passer. So, he's a multi-dimensional guy, and, our big thing with him is just keeping him healthy. He's got a big body and plays a lot of minutes. So, he's not the most mobile guy, and I think it takes its toll on him these games. So we got to keep working on our yoga and masseuse and everything else to get that big body out there and get him ready to go.
Sign me up.
All right, no, it sounds good. When we come back, we'll visit with head coach Ric Wesley about that Rensselaer trip, and then, of course, we'll be visiting with Luke Reiskamp. Very much looking forward to having him on the program and finding out a little bit more about him. So it's all ahead. This is the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider with Ric Wesley, all presented by Rivertown Honda. Back with more here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
We were born here. We grew up here. Raised our kids here. Went to school here. We live here. We are the home team.
Live at Jets Pizza here in Allendale, just about a mile west of Grand Valley State Campus. Come on out for the Ric Wesley special. A large one topping for $6. I'm Jeremy Bolker alongside play-by-play voice DJ Foster and head coach Ric Wesley. In the next segment, Luke Reiskamp going to be joining us, and he's having himself a wonderful season so far. We're going to be chatting with him, and as well a really pretty neat special award or accolade that we're going to talk about in that next segment too. Pretty special stuff. You want to stay tuned for that. We're of course talking with head coach Ric Wesley about this past several weeks' games, and then now going into the Friday and Saturday tournament. But of course, Grand Valley 4-3 overall. We want to let you know this upcoming Thursday night it's going to be the first GLIAC game on the schedule, taking on Findlay. That's going to be an 8 o'clock game, or immediately following the women's game. And then Saturday night, we do want to let you know there is a game time change. It has now been pushed back toward the evening time slot. So that game is going to start roughly around 7 o'clock. Going to be another doubleheader against Ohio Dominican. So again, big GLIAC games. We need your support out there. Should be an awesome Saturday. Grand Valley State football against Ferris State, and you're going to be able to go right into the women's game after that victory. See the women beat Ohio Dominican, and then see the men do the trifecta of victories right there on Saturday
Bolker's
evening.
taking it to Vegas.
Should be, yes, right, exactly. We don't know the point spreads quite yet because of the evening kickback.
Sure.
They might have changed just a little bit. But anyway, so exciting stuff. Need the support. Again, you can get tickets right on the night of the game, or you can go to GVSUtickets.com. Coach, again, 4-3 overall. Talking about this game, before we get right into it, what do you think overall state of the team? How are you feeling things are progressing for you guys?
Well, I can't tell you where we'd like to be. I'd like to be undefeated. But, we're coming off a good win. And I thought for the most part we played pretty well in both games this past weekend. So I think we're getting better. I think we're clearly better than what we were when we played in the first tournament down in St. Louis at the beginning of the year. But I still feel like we're a team very much, developing. I don't quite know who we are going to be. I do think we have some guys that have settled into some positions. But once you get past our first 5, it's still kind of up in the air. On any given night, different guys will come in there and make a contribution. So, I think, Juwan Starks has kind of settled into a nice role now for us. But beyond that, Justin Greason, he's kind of Him and Drake are both in there quite a bit. Basically splitting time there at the big guy spot. But then after that, like I say, I think we're still looking for some consistency out of our bench. And when we get that, I think that will clearly make our team better.
In the Upper Iowa game on Friday, you fell 76-72 in a tight game throughout. Neither team led by more than 8 points. And it was tied with just a couple of minutes to go, and they kind of made a push in the final few minutes of that one. What did you see as the difference coming down the stretch?
Yeah, this one was a little bit like our UMSL game. I mean, it could have gone either way. We had some really good moments first half. We kind of survived the first half. We had a lot of foul trouble. Had some weird lineups in there, but we're kind of hanging in there. And then the second half, made a little run, actually got the lead. Felt pretty good about it, and then just coming down the stretch, we just didn't make the plays. We missed a couple free throws. We had an open three, I think, to tie it. It just didn't go our way, and to their credit, they made the plays. They made free throws. They banked in a three-pointer with a shot clock going down. So, it could really have gone either way, and it just, it's a matter of one or two plays, and that's what we keep preaching to our guys about: execution and concentration and not giving up, possessions over the course of the game, because most of these games are going to go right to the end.
And that's what I imagine, coaches, this has got to be tough. I mean, sort of a typical Grand Valley sort of a game. You lead in rebounds, a lot of times with the turnover advantage, roughly about even. But, yeah, just getting, a basket in the last couple of minutes there.
Yeah, it was too bad because I thought Trevin really had a yeoman's effort. I mean, he was really battling in there and really, especially rebounding-wise, was really, in the mix and digging balls out of piles and stuff like that for us, and to not be able to get the victory was, that was just disappointing. We had, again, it wasn't as if we didn't have some good moments. They had a nice team. They have a veteran team, and they had the one kid came off the bench at 5 for 7, I think, in threes or something like that. I mean,
5 for 7.
I mean, he was a real difference maker. Wasn't somebody you had really highlighted on the scouting report, and he came in and he really caught fire in a game that was very close and might very well have been the difference. And then the other thing is they got to the free throw line better than we did. I thought they had a couple of veteran guys. I never think the call should go against us, but whether it's theatrics or knowing how to position yourself correctly, I thought they did a good job of manufacturing some points by getting to the free throw line, whether it's on attacking the defender when he's in vulnerable position or whatever. And again, so the free throws were probably the biggest difference in the game, along with the player they had come off the bench.
Yeah, so that was the 76-72 loss to Upper Iowa. Later on the show, we'll catch up and talk about the victory the following night against Salem International, as you guys put up 92 points. But, Coach, next segment we're going to bring in Luke Reiskamp, and it seems like he's been around forever, fourth year, obviously, in the program and a senior. Before we bring him in, give us a word about Luke.
Well, Luke has been around. He's been a good player from day one. And it's funny because Luke, of all the kids on our team, probably have known him longer than any of them too. With his sister having been a great player here, we kind of known Luke since he was a little guy, and so we're very aware of him, even as just as he was starting his high school years, and had a chance to really follow him in high school and recruit him for a long time. So not only has he been here a long time, we've been involved in his life for a long time, along with his mom and his dad and his sister and everything else. And what a blessing it's been to have him as part of our program. He's had a great career. He's off to a solid start, and we're hoping that he can take it up one more notch here. We're asking him to do a lot, carry a lot of the offensive load for us, as well as the leadership responsibilities, and I think he's certainly capable of it.
Well, he had a cool milestone on Saturday. We'll talk to him when we come back. We'll have Luke Reiskamp join us right here on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. We're live at Jets Pizza in Allendale. Come on back to hear from Luke Reiskamp right after this break. This is the Grand Valley Sports Network.
We were born here. We grew up here. Raised our kids here. Went to school here. We live here. We are the home team.
And welcome back in. Jets Pizza in Allendale. DJ Foster, Jeremy Bolker with you. We're bringing in senior guard Luke Reiskamp here in a minute. That was Luke on the highlight there. We'll talk to him about a special highlight he had earlier this weekend against against Salem International on Saturday night. First, we want to let you know the Laker football team stayed unbeaten and moved to 12-0 on the year with a 55-32 win over Texas A&M Commerce on Saturday afternoon. So that's a familiar opponent now this Saturday in Lover Stadium as number 2 Grand Valley State will host number 15 Ferris State at 1 p.m. in the Super Region 4 Championship. The winner advances to the national semifinals next weekend. Grand Valley State, Ferris State. It's the drive to the championship presented by Evolve Student Living. For tickets, call 616-331-3200 or visit gvsutickets.com. Jeremy?
Joined now by number 23, the senior, Luke Reiskamp. Luke, thank you for coming on the program. Hey, we're going to talk about this elite company that you jumped into, but I want to know, did you even know that coming into Saturday night's game, you had 999 points? Did you have any idea?
No idea. I knew I was close because DJ told me, I think the end of last year, I think he kind of discussed it with me. But
good memory?
Yeah, I had no idea. I wasn't even looking. And just that I don't really get into that. Just
sure.
Doesn't really matter to me. So
sure. Well, and it's probably good, too. I imagine just from even if you're not superstitious whatsoever, just knowing, okay, 1 point away, are you thinking about it at all coming into that game? So that's probably good in a way that, that doesn't happen. But,
yeah.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
You joined some elite company here, the 34th.
34th, yep.
34th, so that is really pretty neat.
However, the second in his household.
Yes,
as, of course, we have to bring it up.
You're exactly right.
Sister Erica with 1,409 points. Now, I saw her earlier. For those who don't know, Erica, our Associate Director of Athletics at Grand Valley. And she told me to tell you that she did it as a junior. You had to wait all the way until your senior year. So you've got the floor.
I don't really know what to say. I guess it is what it is. She can say what she wants. I still got some more season left.
There you go.
She has nothing left, so I guess we'll see where it goes.
Now, can you catch her all time? I broke it down earlier. You need 394 points the rest of the way. It's about 18 per game for the rest of the regular season, depending on how far we go. So that's doable.
Yeah.
You averaged, I think, 15 last year.
Yeah, I mean,
14, 15.
I won't be thinking about that. It doesn't really matter to me. We just got to figure out any ways to win possible, and that's scoring 0 points or 20 points, whatever we got to do to win. So that's all that matters to me.
When you did it in style, too, the three-pointer at the beginning of the game was the one.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, it's like joining the 3,000 hit club with the home run or something. He did it the right way.
Right, probably not as quite as dramatic with the free throw, or something
right.
like that. 1,000 points, okay.
Yeah.
Now I got to make the next one.
Yeah.
Your coach is on you.
Yeah.
So, exactly. Well, joined here by Luke Reiskamp here on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. And, Luke, if you could, I know we've heard your story. It's a neat story, and especially when you talk about family. But if you could talk to us about how you got here to Grand Valley.
Yeah, well, I've kind of always been a part of Grand Valley with my sister playing here when I was younger. I was kind of dragged to, I think, every single game of hers, home and away. So I was on the road with her since I've been, in elementary school. And then I kind of just grew up through high school, kind of always having Grand Valley in my mind. And then they just started recruiting me, and I knew going in it was definitely a place my family liked. It was close to home, and I knew my parents and brothers and sisters and all my family and friends would be able to watch me play here. So, it seemed like a good fit. And overall, my experience has been awesome, and I've loved it. So.
And going back to when you were that kid in middle school watching her games and everything to now being a senior, does it just seem like that was just yesterday when you were watching your sister play and now you're already in your senior season? Yeah,
for sure. I think I talk about it with Trevin every day. I think what's the date today, the 28th? I said Trevin will never ever practice on November 28th again, and every day we say it to each other. So we just continue to say that and try to bring intensity to practice when it gets down, and just when you think about that, it's your last practice or your last road trip. It kind of gets to you and kind of makes you elevate your play and just want to go out and on a good note. So.
I was wondering about that. Is how often do you think about that versus sometimes you keep going. It's just emotion. You just keep going through the motions. You don't think about it too much. But I imagine you have to coming into this year. You and Trevin really taking on the leadership role of this team and having to do that too.
Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of new guys and a pretty young team, and I think starting off 4-3, we're kind of sitting at an all right position right now. We'd like to be undefeated, but going into GLIAC play, we're trying to kind of help spread the word that it's kind of a whole new season right now. And from this point on, nothing really matters. You could have not won 0 games and win the rest of your games and have a fantastic season. So it's a whole new season. Everyone's 0-0 going up against each other. So I think we're excited for the opportunity.
Here with senior guard Luc Reiskamp on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. Coach mentioned before we went to the break that you and Trevin, too, have both been kind of tasked with a little more of the offensive burden. Do you feel that? Do you feel like your role has changed from last season? You guys had a good senior class last year that was able to chip in scoring and rebounding and defensively, but do you feel your role has changed from last year to this year?
I think my role on the court, I just try to continue to do the same thing and just to elevate my play and affect everyone around me. But I think from a leadership standpoint, definitely, we definitely are trying to talk more. And I think just people more taking notice of what we do. Like last year, we were kind of the juniors, not the oldest guys. So, they kind of noticed, but it didn't really matter as much. But this year we got a lot of young guys, so they definitely look at how we take care of our business on and off the court for sure.
What have you taken from some of the other seniors in the past that have graduated now?
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of seniors in the past I've been with, Darren Kaputska, Ricky Carvalho, Ryan Saban, a lot of those guys, when I came in, Rob Woodson, I looked up to them, and they kind of laid the path or foundation of just how to lead in good ways and on and off the court, and just how to take care of your business every day, and just how to outwork everybody else, and that's what it really means. So.
Joined here by Luc Reiskamp, number 23 of your Grand Valley State Lakers. And Luc, what happens when you graduate? What's life after basketball looking like, or do you want to continue on? What's that picture looking like?
Right now, I'm just focusing on getting my degree, and I'm gonna take it one step at a time. And looking for jobs right now. And
what do you want to do? What's dream job?
Dream job? I have no idea. My degree's in occupational health and safety, so.
Okay.
I guess something within that field, since I've been working hard and going to classes for that degree, so I might as well do something within that degree field. So I'll explore the areas and just keep an open mind, and just whatever my plan is, I'll go that way with it.
And DJ, it's not an occupation to eat pizza all day.
That'd be a good job. That would be the way to go.
Right, it would be. Well, I figure we got to offer him the full court press here with Luc Reiskamp, and great stuff so far here, Luc. Hey, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Man,
don't say Houghton.
I'd probably go somewhere really tropical with really nice weather, guaranteed no rain or anything, and just a beach and just relax. So basically anywhere you can do that.
You brought up a great question here, DJ. Don't say Houghton, but what is?
We'll be there in January. That's why I said don't pick somewhere we're going to go.
What's been the worst movie selection that Coach Wesley has maybe put on, or the team has picked on some of those long road trips?
Man, I don't know, because sometimes we split it with the girls, so the girls like different movies than boys. That's just how it is. And man, I feel like I fall asleep during most of them anyways. I know on the way back from the trip last time we watched Star Wars, and that was the first.
The original Star Wars?
The original Star Wars.
Was that on VHS?
No, it
might have been.
I don't know, but it was. I'm not a big Star Wars guy, so I couldn't even tell you if it was the original or not.
Sure.
But I don't watch much Star Wars, so it was interesting.
That was unique.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, your best turkey side dish. You got a lot of different things to choose from come Thanksgiving dinner. What's one of your favorites you've grown up with or had before?
Probably this pretzel jello thing. I don't know what it's called, but yeah. Some people in my family don't like it because I think the pretzels get soggy, but I like it, so it tastes pretty good to me.
Really? Is
Yeah.
that what the name of it is? We have Doug Lipinski here nodding in agreement. But the pretzel Jello thing, I keep thinking of Aunt Bethany and Christmas Vacation. Does your cat eat Jello, Aunt Bethany? Why? But, okay, best kind of music to warm up to?
Something that gets you going. I don't know, rap, hip-hop, anything. Just, guys on our team just start jumping and dancing around to anything. So,
Are there any good dancers on the team?
I wouldn't say good dancers. I say they just do what they see and they try to
Sure.
imitate.
Average
it, so.
at best.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. We'll sort of wrap things up here with Luke Reiskamp on the full court press. 3-point contest between you and Trevin. We're going to take 5 shots from every spot, so 5 different spots beyond the arc. Who's going to win that? Who's going to make the most 3-point shots?
Definitely me.
All right.
Definitely me. I'll start talking to him. I'll get in his head. I'll make him laugh.
So playing together for 4 years, you probably know how to get into his head a little bit, I would assume, right?
Yeah. Me and Trevin, we disagree a lot, and then we're best friends as soon as we get off the court. So, I'll say something funny to him. He'll start laughing. I can get him to miss, I think.
He complained a week or so ago. I can't remember if it was the Grace Bible game. You were going to throw him an alley-oop, and he said it was too high for him, and, he blamed it on you on the pass, and it seemed like a lover's quarrel, basically.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I thought it was a pretty good pass. We worked on it in practice, and he told me, he's like, I didn't jump as high as I thought I was going.
So, okay.
He told me that.
So he took some of the blame.
Yeah, he took a little bit. So we both kind of took that blame, but, it is what it is. So
Maybe we'll connect on one at some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, awesome job so far this season. Really continued success to you guys. You guys are a lot of fun to watch, and thanks for being a great Laker here, okay?
Thank you very much.
Let's go get him.
Congrats, Luke. Thanks.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. That was Luke Reiskamp here on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. When we return, we'll bring back in head coach Ric Wesley and break down this upcoming week. Again, want to let you know about Thursday night, first GLIAC game of the season. 8 o'clock game, and that's followed by the women's game. They start at 6 o'clock, so great doubleheader there of Laker basketball action. Come on out, starting at 6 o'clock. And then on Saturday, the game has been moved, again, from the afternoon. Originally on the schedule, I think we were looking at 1 and 3 for the doubleheader. Now we're going to looking at 5 and 7 at the field house right there against Ohio Dominican. So, again, Thursday night, the men play at 8, and then at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Be back with more Laker hoop talk here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
We were born here. We grew up here. Raised our kids here. Went to school here. We live here. We are the home team.
Your Grand Valley State Lakers putting up a lot of offense lately. Real good stuff. We're talking about that and a lot more. We just heard from Luke Reiskamp, the senior. Always a great interview right there. Thank you so much to Luke for joining us here. We are at Jets Pizza in Allendale. We'll be here till 7 o'clock. A reminder, folks, for the next few weeks, too, before we go on to the holiday break, we'll be here at Jets Pizza, mile west of Grand Valley State campus. Remember, and I'll say it several times a show because it's my favorite, the Ric Wesley Special. Thank you for lending your name to that special, Rick. It's great stuff. Large one topping for $6. Quick shout out to Berwin Vrujang, too, his lovely wife Margie out here. But I know he's healing. I know he's cancer free, but you always experience those type of things. But obviously a huge Grand Valley Laker super fan.
Yep.
Rick, I mean, he's here even when I'm back at the studio. When it's cold out or it's icy on Lake Michigan Drive, somehow that guy manages to get out here, too.
A little more toughness and commitment on his than yours.
Yeah.
No, we miss him, and he's a great fan, and a neighbor of mine lives over by me, and he's had a tough go, but it sounds like there's light at the end of the tunnel, and he's doing better now. So we wish him all the best, and we miss him.
Great to
looking
hear.
forward to getting him back out here.
Yep.
No, well, we certainly do, and like I say, again, we have some Thursday night and a Saturday night game coming up. We're going to talk about those with Coach here in the next segment. We want to also, quick reminder, give the gift of Jets Pizza. Gift cards available. The fine owner here, Jim Pettis, and the fine, great staff, they do a great job. If you have a Grand Valley student or you're a parent or something like that, nothing beats some Jets Pizza. So give the gift of Jets this Christmas. Gift cards available. Coach, 4-3, overall on the season. You had that really sort of a nail biter there at the end on Friday night, and then you guys move into the consolidation. No, the
Consolation.
Consolidation.
You want me to take it from here, Jeremy?
Yeah, right. Wanted to take, DJ Foster, take it away from right there. And Coach, you guys came to play on Saturday, this past Saturday night.
Yeah, that was a really good bounce back game for us. You never know how it's going to go. The first night was very disappointing. It just sticks with you for a while, and then you have to come right back and play the next night. Sometimes that doesn't always necessarily go well.
I was going to ask about that, how that is.
Salem International, I'd watched a little bit of the game the night before, and they were very athletic. Their game against St. Joe's, they were pressing full court. So their activity level was really high, and I was worried about us being a little bit down, not being able to match the intensity. But we had a good shoot-around. Coach Johnson, Coach Wallace had a good scouting report on them, and we did what we could to quickly get our guys in a better place. And I thought we really responded well. We came right out right from the start. Luke in particular hit some shots early, and we really took good control of the game. And so it ended up being one of our better, if not our best, effort of the season. A lot of guys played well, went to our bench and got good play from a number of guys. And, and so it turned out to be a big night and a fun night and a good way to finish off the tournament.
Well, and you put up 92 points. You win 92-68. We're talking with head coach Ric Wesley here in the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. This segment brought to you by Earhart Construction, the official construction company of the Grand Valley Sports Network. You had a lot of good numbers in that game, but I think the one that certainly stands out when you look at the box score is Drake Barr. 23 points, 5 rebounds. The 23 points are a career high, but he was 10 for 10 from the field. The last time someone has done that, it was some guy named Kalissa Suzuku back in 2005, who was also 10 for 10 against Saginaw Valley State. That's hard to do. It's hard to go in a gym by yourself and shoot 10 shots and make them all. And he did it in game action. I would know. I can't make 10. I can't make 10 layups in a row. But talk about his performance. He's really started to play well, and he just capped it off with a tremendous outing.
Yeah, he sure did. Now, I didn't realize he was 10 for 10 until after the game when I saw the stat sheet. It's not something you necessarily registers in your mind. He was getting a lot of good shots, and he was making them all. And he had one tip dunk that was kind of a spectacular play. But to his credit, he's worked very hard in the offseason. He's come back. He's more fit than ever before, and I think his confidence is as high as it's ever been. In this game, he got some opportunity. He's really seemed to got to the point where he understands what his strengths are, and he's really playing to them. He steps in that lane. He gets the ball into his favorite spots on the floor, and he's got a little deadly jump hook that he's really perfected now. And, he just got a bunch of those. And as I look at the film, well, he's working hard. He's giving himself a chance to be successful by continuing to make consistent, solid effort and good execution, and it starts to pay off. So, I hope he can keep it up the rest of his career. That would be great. I don't know if he can go 10 for 10 the rest of his career.
That'd be pretty good.
But that would be awesome if he did.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, he's been certainly one of our early season, I would say surprises, but really off to a good start.
And you're saying, Coach, if I understood you correctly, that you're seeing that progress in practice as well translating to on
no
the
question.
court,
I mean, you saw it as soon as he came back to school, and I know he worked really hard in the off season. And you could see it. And we've always had, high hopes for him. He's always been a very athletic guy. But at times I didn't feel like he played athletic. He just – some of that when you're standing around or you're not as aggressive, you just get kind of – you're more of a spectator than a participant. Now he's kind of turning it loose. He's trusting his instincts. He's trusting the work that he put in. And he's not second guessing, and he's a smart guy. Sometimes you can overthink it. Basketball is more of a reaction sport, and like I say, and he's really worked hard on his jump hook, and it's a lethal shot in around the bucket that you can get off against bigger guys. And so yeah, it's all kind of came together, and what we've seen at times in practice is we're seeing more and more now in games.
You know, Luke Reiskamp had 16 points in that game. Juwan Starks with 11. Zach West had a good overall line, 8 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Even if he's not out there scoring, it seems like he's always out there doing something.
Yeah, you know, like you said, a lot of guys played well. Zach, in particular, had a really solid game, and I told the guys in the staff meeting today, I said, you know, I thought he was playing good, but boy, when you look at the film, man, you see all the things that he's doing. He was a middleman on the fast break 2 or 3 times, made great decisions. A lot of Drake's baskets were results of good pinpoint passes that Zach zipped in there. You know, he's rebounding. He led us in rebound. He's big and strong. He's getting some steals. He's hitting some timely shots. So his stat line was pretty impressive, too, over the course of time. And he's always been one of our more solid defenders. So, you know, really a good game by him. And the other guy I thought really played well was Miles. I thought, or particularly early in the first half, another guy who I think he's starting to really figure out who he is as a player. He's finding more ways to facilitate. He's getting inside the defense, and you know, he's kind of always been a natural scorer. And you know, at his position at this level, you know, he's not going to be able to score as easily as he did in high school. And yet, you know, he's got the skill set that he can really get other guys shots. And so he's really doing that. And when he does that and he facilitates like that, we certainly benefit as a team. So I thought he had a solid game, too, and he's growing in his confidence each and every day.
Yeah, 6 assists for Miles Miller in that one, and you said he's turning into a really good all-around point guard, not just a scoring point guard. Well, that was the 92-68 victory over Salem International. Lakers moved to 4-3 on the year. When we come back after this break, we're going to talk Findlay and Ohio Dominican. The Lakers' 2 opponents coming up this weekend in Allendale. It's the start of GLIAC play. Again, Findlay at 8 p.m. on Thursday night and Ohio Dominican at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Come on back for more of the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider with head coach Ric Wesley. It's all right here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
We were born here. We grew up here. Raised our kids here. Went to school here. We live here. We are the home team.
And back here at Jets Pizza in Allendale, DJ Foster, Jeremy Bolker, head coach Ric Wesley. We're talking Laker basketball here on the Grand Valley, or excuse me, on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. I was going to say the Grand Valley Sports Network. We already figured that out.
Yes, all right, it happened to you too.
This segment's presented by Fox Motors, only the best. Before we get back in, we want to talk just real quickly. The 3-time defending national champion GVSU soccer team looks to make it a 4-peat this weekend down in Kansas City. The number 2 Lakers are 22-1-1 overall.
And you can use that, right? Pat Riley does not have that copy, right?
Not here, he doesn't.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
Got it.
They're in the national semifinals Thursday night against number 5 Columbus State. That's a 6 p.m. start. It's a rematch of last season's national championship game, which GVSU won 2-0. For more game information, check GVSULakers.com. A big good luck to the Lakers soccer team this weekend at the NCAA Final Four. Coach, upcoming this week for you, Findlay and Ohio Dominican, and that's 2 teams that unfortunately you won't have on the GLIAC schedule next year. Obviously, you could schedule them maybe in a non-conference, but Findlay, a team that, and to explain that further, they're leaving the conference. For those who don't know, they're joining a different conference after this year. And Findlay, it's a team you've been battling basically the last 10 years in the GLIAC, in the region, and that rivalry will at least take a little bit of a dip, if not completely abolish after this year.
Yeah, Findlay's always has an outstanding program. I told our guys today, I think since I've been here, they've always been first or second in the South. I don't think they've ever been any lower than that, and my guess is they'll be first or second again this year. And it's the same. It looks like the same team every year. Good players, tough, physical, good shooters. No obvious weaknesses. They played Dayton in their exhibition game and took that game right down to the wire. They've only got one loss. You look at them at film, it's really difficult to find any real obvious weaknesses. Last year they came in here and just shot the eyes out of the basket. So, we're going to have our hands full and, feeling good about our last game, but knowing that we've got a big challenge here lying ahead on Thursday night.
The good news is they're more beatable on the road. It's tough to win in Findlay, but at least you have them here. But like you said, last year they shot the ball.
They were unbelievable last year. We ran into 2 or 3 games last year, and them being one where I look back like, what the heck? This is like something out of a movie here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making shots that I never saw them make any other time. But Kimbrough and Sullivan, they've got 2 outstanding kind of a guard-forward combination there that both are big-time players. Solid point guard play, good physical interior size. Again, so no noticeable weaknesses. We're going to have to really play well. And I think for our team to continue to have success, I think we've got to shoot the ball well. I mean, we're not as big and as physical as what we've been at times. I don't know that we can win the toe-to-toe, rock'em sock'em kind of game. We're a little bit more finesse than we have been. We're not getting as many free throws as we have in the past. We're shooting more threes, so we got to make them. But I think we have more guys. We put more combinations out there on the floor of guys that can make them. And usually you need a third three-point shooter out there to get the shots. If you just have one, everybody focuses on it. If you get 3 of them out there, you get kind of a penetration kick and an extra pass, and the odds are more likely it's going to a guy who's a good shooter the more of them you put out there. And so it seems like most of the combinations we're putting out on the floor, certainly now with Juwan Starks contributing and Zach West really hitting his shots more and more. The correct shot is the three-point shot, and I think that's going to be a big key for us as we move forward.
Well, it certainly should be interesting. Again, that's this Thursday night. The women kick things off at 8 o'clock, and then the men immediately following right around 8 o'clock. But it's interesting, Coach, too, as we cut to a break here. Field goal percentage-wise, you guys are both at 48%, and three-point percentage, too. I mean, you guys are both right around 40%, too, for the season so far. So, I mean, it should be an interesting matchup here.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. Like I said, last year I thought it was going to be 2, and then they came in and really, kind of cleaned our clock there. So, they're a veteran team. They're probably more in sync than we are. But, again, I saw some signs of life here in our last game, and we're looking forward to it. I think we're getting better. We did some things today in practice that hopefully will be things we'll be able to use to, increase our likelihood of success. So, like I say, I mean, from this point on, they're GLIAC games. So
right.
I don't know. There's none that I look at on that schedule and feel like, well, that's going to be an easy one. I think that we're going to have to scrap and claw for every one we get.
All right, let's take a 90-second break. Again, 90-second break. We'll be right back here to wrap things up on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider with head coach Ric Wesley, all presented by Rivertown Honda. Back with more on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
We were born here. We grew up here. Raised our kids here. Went to school here. We live here. We are the home team.
And back here for one final time in the Basketball Weekly Insider with head coach Ric Wesley. Before we wrap things up, we'd like to thank one of our fine sponsors, Country Dairy, the official milk of GVSU Athletics. Country Dairy, come visit our family farm. Coach, we just talked about Findlay on Thursday at 8 p.m. You're taking on Ohio Dominican. Again, a game time change, same date. That'll be on Saturday, but it'll be a 7 p.m. start for you guys against the Ohio Dominican Panthers. They're off to a good start as well, 4-1 to start the year.
Yeah, they really are, and they've been, I don't know if a surprise team, but I think a team probably everybody has really taken notice of. Dan Evans has done a good job there. I think they're like kind of a sleeping giant down there, down in Columbus, great location. A lot of players around them in the high school ranks, and it appears they've got one of the best teams that they've had. They took St. Joe's right to the wire. We saw St. Joe's the other day at their tournament. Man, they've got a great team. And so they lost a close game there, and then they went to Gannon and won at Gannon, which is a very difficult place to play. So, again, Ronnie Williams, outstanding guard for them. That's going to be a tough challenge on Saturday.
All right, Coach, hey, let's go get him.
All right, we're looking forward to getting into GLIAC. Hopefully get some people out there cheering us on.
All right, again, that's this Thursday and this Saturday night. Make sure to come out and root on your Grand Valley State Lakers. That'll wrap things up. Big thanks to Luke Reiskamp joining us for the fine staff here at Jets Pizza, for DJ Foster, and, of course, head coach Ric Wesley. I'm Jeremy Bolker. Have a great night, everybody, and go Lakers.